Shalom. First and foremost, want to give our praises to our Paul, Yahweh, Boy Shemi Oshai, Boy Shema Karash, Kal, Halalam La Yahweh, Boy Shemi Oshai, Boy Shema Karash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh, in the name of Oshai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly call Jehovah, God, or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. The true name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all our brothers and Modi pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, to all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. I'm the brother Zach from Camp James, Jamaica. And this lesson, God's willing, entitled, in order to be in His truth. So like, yeah, we have to be dispassionate, which we don't have no service right now to go into the something there. The Greek for this precept here in 1 Peter chapter 5 and 8. Well, I start at verse 5. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 5. It says, likewise ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Yahweh resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. It says we're supposed to be clothed with humility. Alright? And let me see if we can just get a definition here. This is humility from the offline Merriam-Webster dictionary. It says freedom from pride or arrogance, the quality of or state of being humble. Alright? So you don't have pride. Alright? And humility is an essential characteristic, trait, or necessity in order being dispassionate, being selfless. And that's what this truth requires. It requires us to put this ministry first. It also requires even putting brothers first. As this precept says what? Esteem another better than himself. Let's see if I can get that real quick. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Romans 12. Or not. It's actually Thessalonians. Philippians, sorry. This is Philippians 2, and we start at 1. It says, if there be therefore any consolation in Yahushai, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels of and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that he be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. So what we do in this ministry, it's supposed to be, because we want to get exalted, or we want praise, or whatever bullshit. Right, we don't work for salvation, but I used to say, every man work out his own salvation through fear and trembling, But you're going out there teaching, it's say, if I give a gift, supposed to do it for people your praise you or whatever. Right? You know, it's supposed to be done through vainglory. So do it like, I'm say giving me like harms and so forth. Yeah, you for help out sake, your brother in need or you just do it for help out sake, you want nobody know. Alright? It says, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Right? Let not every man look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua Mashiach. Right? And Yahushua basically to the point of his selflessness, him being dispassionate. Right? He gave up his life. Right? He being the ultimate sacrifice, so that we can basically have a place back to our poor Yahweh. Right? And us coming to this truth, we have to put on that level of humility. We're in where Paul said him suffer the calamities in earthly paraphrasing, right, for the ministry's sake, for the church's sake, yeah. Right? So back to 1 Peter 5 and verse 6, sorry. It says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And this is the word actually, when I'm mistaken. When I look up the word sober, you go back to the calm and collective in spirit. And then if I go down and believe in the lexicons, you got to be dispassionate. So to tell you clearly that we're supposed to be dispassionate, calm and collective in spirit. Right? And I just want to get the word dispassionate now. Dispassionate, not influenced by strong feeling, especially not affected by personal or emotional involvement. Right? Personal or emotional involvement. So nothing is supposed to come between this ministry. It's supposed to be the forefront of our agenda in everything we do. And that's us being dispassionate. So, for example, your brothers may be ill, tired, and still come at camp. Alright? Me have to basically put off whatever things, worldly affairs, things, which, that basically is a part of it. I'm not going to say it doesn't come, because indeed it's something we have to do at times, right, for the ministry's sake. Set apart time for the lessons, set apart time to study, to read, which come on the study, set apart time for fellowship, help our brothers, set time, of course, to go in the highways and edges. For example, even choosing professions. Alright, brothers, maybe I couldn't get professions or pay, better. But, we have to put that aside, knowing that, hey, this is going to take our time for the ministry, and that's the first, our first love. Alright, which brings me to this precept here on deck. It's 2 Timothy chapter 2, we start at verse 2. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushua Mashiach, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness. A soldier basically put down his life, or sacrifice his life, his freedom, right, to go out there to fight for his country. And that's what we're doing here, putting down our life, our freedom, our time, right, to fight for, Yahweh Shem Shai, and by default, even our nation, on this side the elect, right, and we'll fight what? Scripture said the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but basically spiritual. Verse 4 says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. So we are not supposed to be entangled with the affairs of this life, and that's where we basically be dispassionate, making the truth the forefront of everything we do. The main thing, yeah. So anything more basically going to interrupt with time from this ministry, if we now can go camp or so forth, then something got to give. Alright? And that's not the truth. And I would do that to faith, because we know the most I have a back here. Right? And countless of time and again I've seen where, you make certain sacrifice to the truth, yeah. And even like, sometimes you may see certain certain they call that consequences you may have to face, and you say, oh shit, well, if I dirt, you make the sacrifice to the truth, and the most I either make the consequences that dire, or I just change the ultimatum altogether. All things within the under the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Him can do anything he wants, but we have to be faithful, and dispassionate, right, selfless about this ministry first. But him first is Yahweh Shai said this as well. When we go to Matthew chapter 16 and start 21. It says, from that time forth began Yahushua to shew unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. And I'm even reading this, it reminds me of the account with Paul. What's this? These things move me. I was to put the past tense. This is Acts chapter 20. Acts 20 and 22. And now, behold, I go bound in the spirit unto Jerusalem, not knowing the things that shall befall me there, save that the Holy Ghost witness it in every city, saying that bonds and afflictions abide me. Says, but none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself. Alright. Says neither, read about. Says, but none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy, and the ministry which I have received of the Lord Yahushua, to testify the gospel of the grace of Yahweh. And that's a poem, so none of these things moved him, so that what him can push forth the gospel. Because if you worry about saving your house, then you're going afraid to even speak in the time to come. Even more so. Because now, we can get hated and all of that, but nothing really happen now. No lock up now take place. No bathing now take place with this ministry straight sake. But when that time comes, if you put your life first, then you're going to basically walk out upon this ministry. Which we don't want to do that. You want to stay, as Yahweh tell us this. We'll get warning in Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that he may be tried. And he shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. So we're supposed to be even faithful to death, or we not even make with life that important there. We not regard with life. Alright, look for save with life. Right, for go against the commandments of our power, how about Shem Shai. That's the point where we hope for the spirit to take for we'll take it to if needs be. Right? They're saying what death before dishonor. Right? And let's get this as well. The spirit bring to mind. Colossians 3, verse 1. It says, if ye then be risen with Yahushai, seek those things which are above, where Yahushai is seated on the right hand of Yahweh. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahushai in Yahweh. When Yahushai, who is our life, shall appear, then shall he also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. So these desires, right, you're going to make them dead. Don't give in to the flesh. Don't give in to the carnal desires, and that's basically being dispassionate, wherein you have a more ultimate, we call it purpose. We have a spiritual purpose, and that's what pleasing our power to the best of our ability. And if we lose our life for the commandment's sake, so be it. As we've been doing, that's when we go back to Matthew, chapter 16 and 21. Yahushua was telling them, hey, the purpose of me here is to die. That wasn't comfortable with the disciples. That wouldn't be comfortable with any brother. And they even they ain't among any brother here. A brother drop out like that. But we know if we let the most of them, so be it. He maybe even miss a brother. Them they with him for what 3 years. Right, so for years, say man dead to the son, them build a relationship, and it's like almost every day them dead, every day. Right, through hardship, right, through so-called okay times, near death experience, like when they're on the boat and they think it will sink. I wish I saved them. So there was a connection. So them hearing that him going to die, it kind of break them heart. Like, shit, they didn't want that. But that's where being dispassionate comes in now, wherein our feelings, our desires are put aside and we look to the will of the Most High. Verse 2 says, like, for example, Yahushua didn't want to go on the cross. They didn't want to suffer that pain. But being passionate, he basically took that journey. 22 says, then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. But he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of Yahweh, but those that be of men. So Peter, they be carnal, they be emotional about himself, and not the will of the Most High. Then said Yahweh unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So we have to learn to be dispassionate. We have to learn to deny ourselves. This is not about us. It's about our power. About Shemel Shai, his will. We are servants, seeking to please our power. Period. It says, read back 24. Then said Yahweh unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Alright? So if we lose our life, you're willing to lose your life for Yahweh's sake, then chances are we'll get it back. But if we go try to seek a life, take the chip, dishonor or power, go against the commandments, then we'll get destroyed. So it's about being dispassionate, being selfless, right? And that's the way to please our power. That's the way, a path unto salvation. Not putting ourselves first, but putting Yahweh Shemel Shai first. But this is edifying until like out there, giving our praises to our power Yahweh Shemel Shai, Shemel Kakadash. Double honors unto our elders and apostles of great milestone, and shalom to the full. Shalom.